Hey guys, this is Matt Miller. Watch this Trump campaign official completely outsmart CNN's Dana Bash when she tries to lay a trap for him, citing Trump's offensive anti-transgender campaign ad, apparently. Watch how he turns the tables on her, and she is completely embarrassed in the end. Watch it right here.
So speaking of policy, your campaign flooded the airwaves in the battleground states and on national cable, even on networks and streaming during NFL games, with ads specifically focused on a trans issue. I want you to listen to some of it, and we'll talk on the other side.
Even the liberal media was shocked Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners and illegal aliens.
Every transgender inmate would have access.
Kamala's for they, them. President Trump is for you.
The transgender community in the U.S. is very, very small. It got really outsized attention. There are a lot of people who say that your campaign demonized the trans community as a way to present a wedge issue for perhaps men of color, suburban parents. Why do you think, and I know you believe that those ads worked, why do you think they worked?
Well, first of all, we didn't demonize the transgender community. In fact, this really isn't even about transgender issues. This ad is really about misplaced priorities. At the end of the day, it is a small minority of the country that thinks taxpayer dollars should be spent on that sort of thing. And when you have a majority of the country who is saying very clearly that they don't believe the government is working for them, they're worse off than they were 4 years ago, the country is in the wrong track, and then to see a presidential candidate who is saying she's going to move this agenda forward and that's how taxpayer dollars should be spent, it just doesn't comport with them. They don't think the government is working for them. People want the government to be doing what their priorities are. And frankly, spending taxpayer dollars to give transgender surgery to prisoners is just not a priority of the American people. And that's why the ad was effective. It's about misplaced priorities on behalf of a leader.
So it was using the top issues that are most important to voters, the economy and immigration, and presenting it through an ad that was very memorable. Were you surprised that the Harris campaign didn't respond in kind?
Not particularly, because at the end of the day, it was her words right there very clearly. She was on camera owning that position. And you know, the ad did something else too, which is really important. It positioned her as the ideologically far-left liberal that she is and always was. We saw when she first came into the race, there was this whole rush to try to erase the history of Kamala Harris, who was rated literally the most liberal senator in the U.S. Senate in 2019. And by the way, that was taken off the internet. We know that many outlets came out and said she was never the border czar. And then ultimately, I wouldn't be surprised if she voted for Donald Trump because she had anonymous aides go out and leak that she was actually supporting his positions now, whether on the economy or the border or otherwise. So she really couldn't run from her words on that one when she was on many other issues.
So first off, this guy is 100% right. Kamala Harris was a radical left-wing Democrat. And the media and the Silicon Valley tech companies, Google and Facebook and all these places that control our information try to make that blurry to the American people. They tried to hide that fact. They tried to soften her rough edges and make it seem like she was a reasonable center-of-the-road choice. And of course, all along the way, they're demonizing Trump. But they completely failed trying to do this. And Trump, who is obviously more relatable to the majority of Americans, he had much more moderate platform positions across the board than Kamala Harris did. Kamala Harris was exposed to be the radical that she was.
If you're a wine lover, you got to hear about one of the best kept secrets in the world of wine. Our amazing sponsor for this video, Bonner Private Wines Partnership. Imagine enjoying a glass of wine that comes from some of the highest altitude vineyards on earth, 6,000 to 9,000 feet in the Andes Mountains of Argentina. At that altitude, the grapes endure conditions that create intense flavors like blackberry, leather, and a touch of dark cherry. The best part? These wines are untouched by the additives and high sugar content that you'll find in wines at the grocery store or Walmart. No dyes, no artificial flavors, just small batch natural wine created by small family producers. And here's the thing, the region where these wines come from makes them very difficult to get and very rare, but Bonner Private Wines Partnership has cracked the code, making these exclusive wines available to you without a big industry markup. Right now, my viewers can get $25 off their first order when they join, as well as complimentary shipping. All you have to do is visit BonnerPrivateWines.com/JayWalk, link in the description. This is a great offer for a great product you will not want to miss out on. Check it out. Now back to the video.
And this campaign ad that Trump had was perfect at pointing that out. And it was very, it wasn't like bullying or really vicious attacking. It just said a very simple truth perfectly. It said, Kamala is for they, them, Trump is for you. And whether you like it or not, that was 100% the case in this election. Trump had a platform that echoed the cries of American people. The majority of Americans resonated with Trump's platform. He actually promised to help people where they cared and where they needed help in the grocery stores, paying for groceries, paying for bills, dealing with the encroaching radical left on kids in public schools, biological men playing in women's sports, all these things. He addressed the American people and the border. He addressed American people's real concerns. Kamala and her whole ilk and her wing of the left-wing Democrats were more concerned about helping special interests, whether that be corporate or bureaucratic special interests in D.C., or if that was protecting the special interest of these minority groups that, like they said, they're less than 1% of the population, transgender people. They wanted to make sure, Kamala said, that she wanted to make sure that prison inmates and illegal immigrants had access to transgender surgeries or gender-affirming care on the taxpayer dollar. And that was the kind of issues that she was running on. It's no wonder that the American people saw her for what she was, which is a radical left-wing person that is not connected to the everyday struggles of Americans. I don't know how Dana Bash could sit there and try to use this ad to shame this guy, to shame the Trump campaign. And I think that this campaign official's demeanor here is perfect. He has nothing to be ashamed about. This ad spoke the truth, and it played off of an element of how most Americans feel, which is we want somebody who represents us and cares about our priorities. Not somebody who's trying to build this radical extremist utopia where up is down and boys are girls and girls are boys and illegal immigrants are welcomed in and paid out with tax dollars and they can get a transgender surgery if they want. That is not the America that America voted for, thank God. I just feel so good and relieved after this election to see that America does have its head on straight. We are a sober country. We have common sense again. And hopefully the left can reflect, the Democrat Party can reflect about how radical they've truly become. And if they ever want a chance of winning in the future, they're going to have to return to the center in a genuine way that's actually believable, in a way that sheds a lot of the radical ideas that they've adopted and that they think are marketable to average Americans, and they just aren't. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought of this clip in the comments. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Ring the notification bell so you guys get notified when we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.